So welcome to my YouTube channel. This session today is going to be with Art, and we're going to be doing an Usui Reiki session, and I'm going to take you through step by step what I'd love to do with a client just to start to activate them, bring out what's alive in them, the feelings, the beliefs, so I can really hear what they're saying. Then I know where to look in the body, and I know what's started to come up. So energetically, if he starts talking about, his mum or something, and then it's like, oh, cool. Like I'll start to look, maybe be more aware on the left side of the body, but whatever happens during the session, I'm aware what comes up. So if he's like, I'm angry at my mother, I use Louise Hay's kind of work too, and my own in-depth knowledge of what my blocks are and my resistances and feelings are, to then go, ooh, maybe it's in this section of the body. And it just helps clarify everything, and then get a real sense of like, okay, this is where it should lead. And sometimes it leads completely different, and that's okay too. Whatever happens, whatever you say here is okay. I've talked to Art and said, if there's stuff that comes up and you don't want it to be aired, it won't be aired. Consent is always important. And yeah, let's just jump in and see how we go. So I like to start, you know how I like to start. I've worked with you before. I just like to start on like what's alive for you the last week, what's something you want to bring to this session to see if we can work on the blocks too and energetically free you from.
Recently it's been just sort of feeling of overwhelm and trying to manage lots of different things, just life things we got to do, and sorting out renters in the house we live in, and sorting out, finances and just upkeep and everything. And it's all pretty simple, and I know I've got help, but it's started to feel like I'm trying to do a lot, and it's hard to get it all done.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing isn't like working on the business side that is my passion that I really want to be working on. So so a bit of something, anxiety and feeling like
nice. Okay, so I'll just stop you there and say, like, now I'd reflect back what was going on for you. So you've been feeling overwhelmed. There's a lot going on, but it seems like simple stuff, and you've been feeling anxious. So it's like, all that overwhelm has been going on for you. Can you expand on that a little bit? Like, where are you? What are you feeling? What's alive in you as you talk about this stuff?
It just feels so like heavy or too quick or too much, and it makes me want to have more space, which feels really funny because I feel like I'm in a time where I've been taking lots of time and space and being out in nature tons, and just being happy to do things slow. And still I can feel like that. So just like a buzzing of like too quick, kind of like, it's too much,
So there's heaviness,
too much input,
and speed,
which is something I'm used to with like depression. Feels like that. It's like everything feels like too much input.
Feels like too much input.
Yeah.
So what's this? I'm curious. What's like pushing it away? Give me room. Like
I guess it can feel like, can turn into feeling like there's some physical something that's actually too close to my space.
Okay, nice.
My personal space.
Yeah. Is that where you feel it, like coming in here?
Yeah, I guess it feels sort of like towards the face and head, and maybe over, because it sometimes feels like it's bigger and heavier.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So when this stuff happens, I notice it feels like external pressure, like so much is happening in life that it's like like coming. It might be all angles. It might be, from the past, from the future. It's usually there's like, with overwhelm, it seems like there's little beliefs in there of like, I can't just let go of or disconnect from that stuff coming up. I've got to like do it, and then I've got to do this and this and this, and there's like, it just adds on. And I've noticed with the simple stuff, it's really easy to go, this is simple, I should be able to do it. But when there's like 50 simple things, it becomes this big like, I'm not getting everything done that I need to.
Yeah.
And so it's like there's a bit of self kind of blame beating down a little bit, that kind of thing of like, I should be able to do this,
Yeah.
And that's super normal. Like that is something that happens with everyone. And yeah, I would just stop there and explain a bit of context to how I work. Everything is okay. Like all your thoughts, all your feelings, they're okay in this space, whatever you want to bring out. And it's like everyone experiences similar feelings and thoughts in different degrees. So I call them stacks, where it's like some people have repressed so much anger that they've got like a million stacks of it, and other people have expressed their anger, but they might have a lot of stacks of sadness. And so as we work, as I've worked much more with people, I've noticed just how like so many of the same triggers that like I go and other people go, I'm ashamed, I'm anxious, I'm embarrassed. Why have I got this? This is ridiculous. Oh my God, people are gonna not love me for this, all these things pretty consistent with all of us. And there's like a hiding of who we really are. But as we speak up with someone who's gone through stuff or is able to speak up in that space, it's like, oh really? You too? And I love that, because that's our shared human experience. And yeah, so I want to get you on the table.
I want to get on the table.
I've heard some overwhelm. I want, just now before we hop on, because I do a bit of feeling work, I just want you to feel the pressure that's been on you, the overwhelm, and just make a bit of room for it. Just allow that the pressure's there. Is there a feeling or a quality there?
It's just thickness. It's like nearly on my right side.
Yeah. Your right side.
And yeah, like around my ear and my head, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good to hear you get a bit deeper, so we're getting more information from art and where it is. So just like allow the thickness to be there, allow it to be around your head and along your right side. So this is kind of a mini conscious hurting session. Oh, sorry, was there something you wanted to say there?
No. Oh, it's just noticing my like teeth and jaw, and maybe some like uncomfortable anxiety or
uncomfortable anxiety. Yeah. Okay, just let that be there too. It's perfectly acceptable in this space. So I'm using my own therapy brand of conscious hurting. So the idea is just to hear what's thought and believed, and then to kind of like give a bit of notice where the energy is, and just allow the word, the belief, the sensations, the feelings. And it works on the idiom, I'm not sure I got the right word there, but it works on where resistance is, there's tension. So if I can highlight the resistance, or someone can highlight their resistance, and that's allowed, then the tension drops. And this is so true for so much, where it's like, oh, I don't want to do this. And so it gets really attached, and it's like, and then it keeps happening. The things we don't want the most keep happening. What we want to resist and what we want to change, they're the ones that stay locked in the energy body. So if they're allowed, or the reluctance to feel them is allowed, so the resistance around it, so I don't want to feel that way, I allow myself not to want to feel that way. That's fair. If I feel that way, then it goes, and to me they're the best things. Like, they're the gold nuggets. Like, if I can find what someone doesn't want and allow that, it's like it just drops, and then the energy can expand out because it's no longer trapped. So we can see people, I don't know, you've kind of got it, like you've done a lot of hard work, and I see your heart, and it's like really big, and so you don't have those blocks to your heart as much as other people. You've learned how to expand it out. And so it's really lovely to be in your presence and see that. And that's kind of what I'm doing with the Reiki. It's like, if I can see what's blocked for someone and just bring allowance and any other matching energies that seem to fit with it, like forgiveness, love. Love's a questionable one for some people, especially when anger's involved. But the more I can kind of open the energies there, the more the person just like relaxes and opens their field, and they're just so much more engaged and present. And that's what we want. More engagement, presence in consciousness. So it's called conscious hurting, as in, if we're going to hurt, we can do it unconsciously and I'm just overwhelmed, I don't know what's going on. Or we can do it consciously and go, well, what's going on there? And it's like, we start to actually know why it's been feeling so pressured and annoying lately. So yeah, thank you for sharing openly. Yeah. And we'll get you on the table, and I don't think I need to change anything. Let's hop up, tell me if you need a blanket.
Yeah.
I'll just do the consent now. So I'd like to offer you the opportunity to say anything that you don't like or that you're triggered by or uncomfortable, and say, please do not do that. And that helps relax your energy, because if you know that you're able to say it, to speak it, it feels like, okay, I can relax a little bit of tension. Yeah. And so, and anything that's for your highest good, just let that happen. So let it flow. I know at this stage, surrender and trust is really important, but I like to invite people for that, but it's tricky, because telling someone to trust me, it's like, there's a layer there that's can impact people and make them triggered and make them close off more. So that's the invitation, to allow their energies to do what they want, while still being aware. If you say, don't do that, I don't trust you right now, I feel really uncomfortable in this spot, because that's alive and that's the resistance. And if you can speak that, like, it can release, because it's okay, everything's okay in this space. Sweet. Okay, well, hop up on the table, we'll just move these chairs. Camera fell down. This is live, people. Yeah. There we go. Let's have a look.
Do you want to clip the microphone? No.
So, this is what happens in life. Things are not perfect. And there's a real want for things to be perfect. Oh my God, this video has to go amazingly accurate. And just allow the imperfection. That's cool. And hope that the mobile doesn't fall over again. Okay. So now I'll pin this microphone up here. And it may be more difficult to hear Art. I might repeat if anything he says, so you can understand. And you just relax here. So to start a session, I like to invite in divine energies. I just like to invite Art's high consciousness to come in, my high consciousness, that all the worries and ego dramas just get let go of. We just free those out of this space. Just going to notice what's alive in the body. It's alive in the energy field. And to connect with Mother Earth, like really bring that up into space. So from here, I like to imagine the divine light come in. And it feels awesome. It feels light and loving. And it's like a triangle. And Mother Earth in. So Mother Earth is like the support, the base. And I'd even imagine kind of roots come up as like a cradle underneath Art so that he's held by Mother Nature. And then in this space we can invite anything, any other beings in that would fit with, my belief and Art's belief, or just mine with his allowance to let whatever doesn't serve him to go and to not come into the space, So I'd ask for any ascended masters, Reiki teachers, any ascended masters like Buddha, Jesus, any wise people in Art's life, any ancestors who want to speak to him, that those can really enter the space. And now depending on my client, I will be like, I'm not bringing that in, I'm not saying that, they don't want to know, especially more rational people who kind of have crown chakra that isn't very active, that there's not a belief of being supported outside of themselves. I will more tentatively decide what I do. And so I'm more a divine being than a Mother Earth being, so I usually start on the crown unless I feel that he's not grounded. And I know Art's a very earthy type, so kind of I can just start there usually with him. So I just come in. I think the camera can see me, but if it can't, I'm moving my hand like this, just feeling the energy flow. Now if the energy's good, if it's a healthy open chakra activated, then the energy will like move higher. And so the idea to me is, how can the resistances be released and the energy just flow like wherever it wants to. So again, crown chakra is trust in something outside of the self, especially the divine connection. So people who are faithful, connect with God, that's going to be stronger with them. More sciencey, masculine types, it's going to be less open there. So I like to just allow this space. Yeah. So me just working there feels it's opening. How's it feeling?
A little warm.
A little warm? Yep. Cool. So this one's the soul star chakra. This is where I feel it anyway. It's supposed to be 20 centimeters above the head, I do believe. And it feels more like puppet strings up there, to be fair, but it's a connection to like the galactic energies. You feel your head move a little bit more while I'm doing this one? Yes, no. It's It's all good.
Yeah, a bit of swaying, like inside my head.
Okay. That's a bonus chakra. I wouldn't normally do that for most people, but here we go. And then we feel the third eye energy. Ooh. There's more tiredness here. So it's still, there's still good activity here. Look like you're in a trance. So with Usui Reiki, I feel like it's more of a concentrated beam. And I just ask my high consciousness to do what it wants. And I feel a little tingling on the right temple here, so I just massage that. And if you've been doing your homework as a Reiki practitioner, you should be freeing your own energy to bring in more love and light, so that when you're giving a session, it just naturally happens, that there's nothing that really needs to be pushed onto anyone or concentrated on. It just subtly happens. Oh, it feels like the energy's really settled. I want to touch your head, but tell me if it's too cold, because we're in winter now.
Yeah.
So I usually exhibit different emotions and states in myself when I'm working on an area. Thoughts can be quite often condensed. There's usually a lot of energy in there, in the thinking brain, that makes it harder for me to think too as a practitioner. Feels like just something on the right there. Kind of seeing your efforts, seeing the way you take action. It's kind of a judgment there. It's like a bit of a judgment. Yeah, that's good. So you can just say, I allow myself to judge myself. Yeah. If you're going to do it, you've got two choices. You can allow yourself to do it, or you can resist it. Maybe you can allow yourself to stop judging yourself too. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so now I'm feeling the energy move up from his head in that spot instead of staying stuck there. energy feels a lot lighter, a lot more open. Yeah. Oh, what about other people's judgment? How's that over there? Or is it just your own judgment? Just if other people judge you, just allow that too. I might just sweep down. Oh, it's easy to get caught up in the third eye and the crown.
I did become more aware of the congestion in my forehead.
It's normal.
And heat too, so the cold felt good.
Yeah, okay. You're right. Use what you have, you know. Yeah, good. So to me, I've heard his overwhelm and what's going on. And so there's a level of judgment going on there. And seeing himself in a certain way of like, I'm overwhelmed. Oh, I can't do this. Like, I got to do this, and I've only done this. It's like, I'm such a whatever. And so then we move into the throat chakra and kind of follow the line of judgment down and see what comes up there. But we'll just start in the base of the neck, in the front of the neck, above the windpipe. Much more heat here. Is this where you bully yourself? Rhetorical question. If you know your client has a good sense of humour, you can work with it. If you know they don't, don't you dare. You're doing good. In life and on the table. Feels good on the left side. The middle feels hot and a little bit blocked on testing. And the right side feels good. So if we were following a line of judgment, normally I've noticed it goes down the right side for most people. From the outside it's like other people's judgment. From the inside it's more my own judgment or someone else's judgment. The person's judgment of themselves. And that's just a guideline of what I've noticed. It doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be true for everyone. Some emotions will show up at different places. But if we follow the line of judgment, it may go down in here, or it may go down along the side, and it's just something else is bigger there that's blocking. Again, I settle into the ground. And ask for clarity, high consciousness. is a cheat for the throat chakra. It's all about speaking truth, yeah? So I'd just say, can you allow yourself to speak your truth? Okay. So now I feel things triggering down here. Was that leaning towards yes or like, no way, Gav? Why would I do that?
Sometimes yes and sometimes no.
Yeah, okay. They're the fun ones, polarity. So, what stops you from speaking your truth?
Fear that the expression of it won't be understood.
Fear that the expression of it won't be understood. Ah, okay.
So frustration.
Yeah, frustration, yeah. Yeah, frustration. It's okay to fear. It's okay to fear the expression of it won't be understood. Ah, makes it harder to speak, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Empathy and compassion. They're good. Especially if... So what's really good here is I have a similar problem. It's hard for me to speak my truth. I feel like I won't be understood. So one, I've worked on that a little bit myself. So I can massively empathize. And also, as I'm getting him to allow what's alive, I can sit in me and go, okay, I allow myself to speak my truth. Yeah. Feelings come out. Feelings of, it feels like bitterness and anger for me, but yeah. I'll do that more energetically rather than tell my client normally, as it can move the attention from him to me. So it's better to kind of sit with myself and do it, but sometimes it's really good to let him know that I get it and it's difficult for me to open up at times too, and this is maybe how I feel about it, can sometimes help him go, ooh, do I feel that way about it? Yes, no, maybe. Yeah. That awareness feels better. It feels more open. Please don't try to fix your clients if they want to hold on to something or there's more to it. There's no need to rush into it. Just slowly let it come out as it comes. Just a little bit each time is enough. Feels better. So yeah, a good measure for me is how different is the chakra. You know, if I've found a chakra here and then it's out here after the session, I know there's something that's opened up in there. And so that to me is a great gauge of, oh, okay, really activated crown chakra, third eye is still kind of a bit of a problem, throat good, you know, that kind of thing. But he's opened up in each area. because I've found what's going on, and I can do that energetically. I can do it consciously and talk him through the feelings or thoughts or beliefs. I love doing the thoughts and beliefs because so much of this is like unconscious, and being consciously aware of ourselves, saying it, hearing that it's okay, it's so okay. Really, it's nourishing. You've got to nourish your client. So left side of the heart feels more open, feels higher energy, the right side a little bit less. You don't have to work just within the chakras. It's good to use it as a base, but there'll be stuff that floats outside of it, so that something in there. So one side might feel lighter than the other, like the left feels like more comfortable. You're like, yeah, I'm cool with that side, Gav. Right feels like there's more going on there. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It means, there's room for just bringing consciousness and love, compassion, forgiveness. Yeah, forgiveness. So I could tell there was an energy shift when I said forgiveness. Kind of like maybe a bit of anger under there. What are you feeling?
Just noticing it feels a bit tighter on this side.
Feels a bit tighter, yeah.
Like there's nothing. I don't feel any sort of emotion that strongly around the.
Don't feel any emotion. Yeah, okay. Just let it be a bit tighter. Yeah, Okay. That's nice. It can be there. It's all a part of you. And it's doing a good job. It's looking after you, it's protecting you, it's keeping you safe. So what happens when you're overwhelmed and don't get things done?
My body eventually has enough of it and puts me to sleep in one way or another. Or sends me here to lie on the table.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So it's protecting you well then. It's doing a good job. Good body. Have a look. Check heart energy. Left side's opened up a bit even. Right side. Yeah. Just check where maybe it's attached. Sometimes it's not actually the area that has been worked on that holds the next layer to be popped open. Sometimes what I'd say is referred energy. It's referred pain in, physiotherapy and massage. Yeah. But it feels like what's on his right side makes it harder to just take action and go, screw the consequences, I'm just taking action. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to overthink myself. I'll do this and I won't do that. Maybe some things aren't important. I can let them go. I don't need to be anyone specific right now. I just be myself. Yeah, with whatever I've accomplished now, it's okay. Oh, this is interesting. So your right side, my hand is kind of maybe 2 to 3 inches up. When I bring my left hand up, it raises to about 8 or 9 inches, I think. I don't know. Doesn't, I guesstimate, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's like quite a difference. So like your right side goes better with like feminine support, Just interesting. Or both. No. Yeah. So we just pat the energy, pat the parts of art that maybe didn't get enough love or support. Just bring in more support now. You can ask Mother Earth to come up and support the right side of his body, his space. Yeah. Just let that go, let that be there for now. We'll have a look at the solar plexus. Again, left side feels more comfortable than the right. I don't know what I'm doing. My body just wanted to do this. It feels like maybe a line to ground in your masculine energy. A bit lower in. And I might check in. I might go, okay, what's stuck here? Power? No. No. Strength? No. Action? Yes. Judgment on the action, kind of. Action. Discerned action. No. How do you feel about taking action?
Stuck or blocked with some action.
Stuck or blocked? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just feel the stuck or blocked sensations wherever you can feel them in your body, your energy. Just make some room for them. You're allowed to be stuck or blocked. Good. What's your experience as I work on this side? Comfortable, uncomfortable, leave me alone, stay, give me more.
I'll probably stay, maybe even a bit of relief from some pain I was feeling before in my back.
Yeah, nice. Bit of relief from pain you're feeling in your back. I think this thing can hear you, but
Okay,
yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it feels better. Feels good. Okay.
Can I get a blanket?
Get a blanket? Yes. I shall. Pop it up there. Good question. Okay. Do layers impact the energy that gets sent through someone? Not really. Not with energy work, I don't believe. It can make them feel a bit more calm and protected to open up. And then sometimes if someone's naked, it can help them energetically, but it's like whatever's comfortable for the client. I never do anything with someone naked. Even when I was doing massage or when I was doing bone therapy, I'd let people keep their clothes on. Just felt easier for them to relax and not worry about the elements. So I'm just feeling what maybe you want. My hands want to give you a little massage. Allow the Reiki through that, you know. Just give in support. We've been going through a big time here. Social distancing. Yeah. Certain points the energy won't necessarily rise. I can kind of test it and say, you're powerful, you're strong. You can take action, you can rest. You don't have to take action either. You can choose what you do or don't do. Ooh. Hasn't moved too much, so I'd bring in, see if the place needs allowance. It's okay. It's okay, I notice you, I see you. I love you. I love you anyway. I felt warm. I can feel Art's love from that, me saying that. He's good at giving love too, so he might have given me some love after saying that. Or it could just be in him and he's just shining it out. And, yeah. I forgive you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Yeah. It's not your fault. One of my favourite ones here. Stop being mean to my friend. Oh. Yeah. So sometimes things will keep shifting after, and it might be an idea not to spend too much time on an area that's kind of not moving too much, as it can be a bit aggravating, and it's good to move on to, just see what else is going on. But that's okay too. Whether it moves or doesn't does not matter. It's just feedback. And as I'm a practitioner, I might think or believe certain things about what happens as being my problem or my difficulty. And that too is okay to have. Just like notice what's alive in yourself and in your client. It's good not to completely immerse the self in the client, but to kind of stay out enough and just allow the energies to flow through. I know most healers more live through other people rather than through themselves yeah. Just be aware of yourself at times too. The emotions. So, I haven't given too much on this chakra centers, but it's where a lot of emotions, like deep emotions, it's often connected with the third eye of worry. Can't get things right. And this, I notice around the solar plexus and the sacral, there's usually like maybe a belief of being wrong, or the failure, or not good enough, or I can't be me, rejection, loss, like lots of feelings can be in there. And, the solar plexus is what I'd call the gateway. It's the solar plexus as fear happens or excitement. The solar plexus like squeezes, a kidney squeeze, adrenaline, let me fight off or run away, fight or flight. And then what happens, the more unconscious fear that gets held and isn't consciously accepted, allowed, that makes a person retreat, the gates close and close and close. And then it's harder to get into the belly and into the root chakra. And so that's the digestive system. So then feeling those deep feelings is just like, no, I can't get in there. I don't know what I'm feeling. And then being able to feel your own desire and what you want and actually go for it gets much harder. And then the root chakra is all about your security and your safety, and family and trust. And so that can get harder to go through as well. So like the solar plexus is great to open up, and sometimes that needs to be opened up first, but the layer can be anywhere. So don't just assume that the layer is like there. You might be working on the solar plexus and then it's like something up here that like, when that goes, then the solar plexus opens. That was an example. I don't think it actually, no, sometimes it will. Sometimes I'll pick where it goes. Just be like, boom, ding. Yeah. Yeah. So emotions. Solar plexus here. Sacral here, just a bit below the belly button. And the hara, where the chi is, with the deep chi. Where the deep truth of the body is, those deep emotions. Getting answers from here is beautiful. It's like, oh, that person cut me off, they're such a pain in the butt, they almost hit my car, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I'm angry because I felt afraid for my life. It's like, boom, that's the truth right there. That's the deeper truth. There's no car stories here. I can tell. How does this one feel like to be worked on?
It feels sort of away from the core a bit more.
Away from the core?
Yeah, it doesn't sort of, and just more of a general kind of, how do you say? Yeah, just not like specific sensations or emotions or anything like.
Yeah.
Yeah, just more of a general sensation.
A general sensation. Okay. Is it like, where do you see your core as from? I'm curious.
The core?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I was thinking, because I was listening to you saying like about the hara. Or like, yeah, I was feeling that sort of, that center as, center of balance kind of thing.
Center of balance, yeah. Like it's your core.
I don't know, core is going to trigger different things for me.
Okay.
It's the word core.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I'm happy with that response. So I don't find anything that I want to give attention to, that I feel is needed to give attention to. But yeah, it could be like, you're allowed to have desire. You're allowed to know your own truth. Yeah, there. There you go. It's a cheat. You don't have to actually put Reiki energy in. It just opened up. There's like strength, power in that, in your truth. Yeah. So you don't even need to express it. You can just hold it and feel it, and then not hold it. Okay, we move down. I feel happy having felt that. Here's a good one to practice while working on someone. Sit in the same chakra that you're working on them with. So there's a thing called rapport in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, where when someone's in rapport, you've seen it when someone yawns and you're kind of like in their energy and you kind of yawn as well. Oh, it's like, so too, as we're working on someone, if we inhabit a release, then the other person releases too. Like the other person can release because it's like we've taught them how to do it, especially if they haven't learnt before. So it's like letting go of things. If I'm letting go of things, then my client can let go of things easier. So if I find something that's stuck in him that's also stuck in me, and I can bring my energy into it and make room for it, allow it, open to it, and then release it, then just by being in rapport and connection, it's like he gets a little example. Like you see someone playing sports, like you have a dad that plays sports and you watch him, and then like you know so much more because you've seen it. It's like similar concept with unconscious feelings and noticings of like little subtle changes in someone. And it's where if I'm massaging art and like I'm really focused on, let's get this knot out, hang on, let's find something that's, fuck that one. If I'm like really focused, he can feel my focused energy, and like if it's tight and get rid of this, it's like he can feel that. But if I like loosen my finger as I'm pressing on it and I'm relaxing that, it gives what's underneath it the ability to relax as well. And it's amazing how putting all this force into something sometimes changes just by like allowing a release of the finger. I think it also, it's like pressure and then release. So it can release from there. So we can put like a lot of pressure on. So I'm just feeling around his rib cage where it's locked in. This is pretty consistent with most people where the livers, people, art eats pretty well, to be honest, but it might be in the liver's anger or hate, self-hate, blame, sabotage, bitterness, like bitterness down into the gallbladder, digestive stuff, holding on to betrayal in the gallbladder usually, and just knowing this stuff is what I can open into consciously. And not everyone wants to do this for a Reiki session, but I'm just sharing some of what happens unconsciously, and also that I've just found makes a session clear a lot easier. Yeah. And then I go, how's the safety? Security? Not too sure about that one. Connection with family. A little bit of a heart race. And for me. And trust. Did you know you can trust yourself? What?
I don't know if I know that, but it feels good.
It feels good? It feels good to trust yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. You don't know that you already know what you need to know. Yes? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Because you're doing your best to look after yourself. You just trust that you're doing a good job. Give yourself plenty of power to do so. There you go. A bit of mistrust might have come up. It's okay to have. It's okay to mistrust yourself too. You know, not to trust other people. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, the energy pops up a bit doing that. Huh? So this one's about 9 inches here, mate. Energy. And down. Yeah, it's good. So now I'd just check in and make sure he's grounded. Feels good, he feels more grounded than I do, so it's normal. Let's play with the feet a bit, get a bit of energy in there. You can feel Mother Earth through your feet if you want. You can let it all come up. Yeah, there you go. No need for more. Now, are you doing all right, Art?
Yeah.
Can you handle a bit more?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So now I've done like a general scan. I've had a look at each chakra. Found your crown chakra was really active. You felt taken care of from outside yourself in ways. Third eye was pretty good. Moved a bit of judgment, released that. Third eye opened up a bit more. Yeah, crown just opened. That opened up really easy. Throat, it's a bit congested. A bit hot at the windpipe. Once that started to release, it was like speak my truth, what? You know, so there's still probably a bit of fear in there. So I'd immediately just go, how are the kidneys, adrenals, how's the psoas, you know? Feel fear there, hey? Yeah, and so like just allowing a bit of fear. I've done psychic surgery like that, just holding the kidneys or the psoas muscle, because a lot of anxiety and flows in there. There's psoas muscle that comes down here, And I'm not too up to date on my anatomy. I just feel what's alive in someone's body. And yeah, like that really, that holds it for a lot of people. Arts isn't, I don't know, so you can kind of just massage that a bit for a client, or just feel any fear. You're allowed to be afraid. You're allowed to be afraid, but now you're looked after. You're taken care of. Yeah, that's a good boy. Yeah. Some people like extra nurturing, some people hate it. Figure it out. It's important. You'll feel it. You'll be like, oh, what was that? This person does not like that. It's like heat rises. Solar plexus is good for that. You can, there's this one I used to do where it's like I move my energy through my hand into the solar plexus and feel it kick back. And depending on how angry, fight, defensive someone is, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, it's just like a hot plate. But, okay, so I will move over here. I usually, in my healing room, I have all these symbols that go on my little altar space there. But I go through it and I check in with kinesiology, just like, is this right for Art's higher consciousness? And no matter what my logical mind thinks, yes, he needs that one, I go, no. Like, I'm trusting that he will tell me what he needs. His body will tell me what it needs. And from there I can, just put whatever in. So, Daikyo, Shokurei, no. Golden Gauge. Now all these energies are on love inspiration. They've just taken like 4 years to accrue this many. And the symbols just represent certain energies that like open up. So I've noticed some, like there's ones for emotions and physical, and then there's deeper ones to open to the sacred vibrational level, open more light in the body, transmute darkness into light. Like there's all these, lots of stuff, and it seems to hold like a template of that energy. Like I don't view it as anything woo-woo, but I just check in, what does Art want or need? Okay, no. That's it. His body does not want any symbols. So I'm like, I might feel a little bit disappointed that I don't get to play with that to show everyone. But yeah, I might just put a quick note here about using symbols. It's like, where does this symbol want to be? So some of them are big on top of someone. Others are going to move in through the crown and through the body. Some will be on specific parts. Some, like Seiheki, the second symbol of Reiki. It's really good for the stomach and the third eye at once. But I think because I spent so long like just working on stuff, unfolding it, his body's like, yeah, I'm feeling alright. And yeah, we'll just How you going?
Yeah, I feel great.
You feel great?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I'd fall asleep because I was feeling exhausted, but I was like, it was nice to be present throughout that.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Are you noticing sensations in the body? Any openings, closings?
Doesn't feel like closing.
Good.
Yeah, I'd say opening. I wouldn't necessarily say lighter. Yeah. I think open, less of what I was describing that felt sort of like thick and
Less of the thick and overwhelm. And
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, good. I'm glad. There you go. At this point, I'd like check in with your feet and ground you if I needed to, and say drink plenty of water. Over the next few days, things might be coming out and up. If feelings or beliefs come up, let them be there. Try not to blame yourself. Like just treat yourself like you're holding a little baby. It's okay. It's cool. Hopefully, you're nurturing enough to hold a baby nicely. There's some people and let me know if anything comes up.
Yeah.
And whenever you want to come in for another session, give me a call.
Yeah.
Thanks for being the recipient of Reiki. Good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good work. Is there anything you wanted to say?
No, not really. Just happy to sit with it, allow, whatever.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Art.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone.